You know, I don't want a chrome plated one or polished alloy one. You know, this is going to be a daily driver. Everything's going to be clean and neat and shiny, but I'm not going to spend $1 million on it. You know, it's going to be a tough looking truck. It's going to be finished in matte black. It's going to be accented with chrome and alloy. More chrome than alloy, to be honest, because alloy's a pain in the ass to keep polished. Found that on the Chev. It is nice, but it's just a pain in the ass. Chrome, you just wipe it down. Bit of furniture polish or a bit of Windex, window spray, and it shines, you know, brighter than a star. So, yep, chrome work. But matte black, which will make it look really tough. The front end will probably drop a little bit more once it settles, but I haven't cut the springs on this either. I haven't put lowered springs in it, and it's not sitting at a bad height. I've got a extremely small tyre on the front, profile wise, for you know, a truck this big, because these wheels came off the 79 Fairmont wagon. You know, it's a 205 65 15. So if I put some sports truck radials on that, you know, that's gonna fill the opening of this guard out quite substantially. The back tyres, these tyres originally came off the Chev. I just happened to keep them once I got the wheels I wanted, and these are a 235 70 15. Now if you can imagine these wheels on the front of that will fill that guard out a hell of a lot more than those 65 series. So yeah, you know, it's got a pretty tough stance at the moment, and it's not sitting extremely high, but it's not extremely low either. I've got enough clearance underneath where I'm not going to rip anything out. And the Chev was always an issue. The brake booster was always sort of an issue. It's always a thing that worries me if I have to go over a speed hump or something like that in a car park. I always worry that I'm going to rip it out. With the truck, I've made sure I've tucked everything up as high as possible. And you know, if you're going to drive it every day, you need a little bit of clearance. You know. I'm going to end up putting a box on the back with some mid to late 30s rear guards. I'm looking at a set of 1938 Dodge pickup rear guards at the moment. There's a place in Queensland that fabricates fiberglass ones, and they can get them down to me here in Melbourne, I think delivered for about, I think it's about $650 for the pair. Trying to find anything original in steel of that year is basically impossible, and I'd rather just get a good quality pair of fiberglass ones and not have to piss fart around at panel beating stuff, and just bolt them up. Okay, it's a little bit pricey, but you know, I'm willing to pay for it. The box I'll fabricate myself. It'll have a hard tonneau cover on it, or top, whatever you want to call it. That'll lift with gas struts. Just keep it real simple, you know. Make it tough. Make it roadworthy. Make it a good, comfortable daily driver. Power steering, electric windows, aircon, a decent stereo system in it, nice set of bucket seats, you know, reliable big block Ford V8 running on LPG, so it's nice and cheap to run. You know, later on, if I find that the 58 litre LPG tanks are too small, I'm pretty sure that on a truck this size I can find somewhere else to mount a couple of additional fuel tanks or LPG tanks. You know, I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. You know, even if I've got to raise the floor height in the tub to put another set of these scuba tanks in there and then run an umbilical between the two of them, it's not going to be a major drama. They're not very deep at all, so even if they were to be stacked on top of here, you know, you're only looking at them sitting that high. You know, the tub's going to come at least, you know, up to this belt line here, so I'm not going to lose a hell of a lot. So they could be mounted directly over the top of each other, or they could be mounted just up the front here, so it would actually, I could make the floor kick up, or just run it at the same level all the way along, and put a trapdoor in it, and use that for storage for a spare wheel or tools or anything else. So there's a lot of stuff I can do on this, but yeah, sometimes less is more. Simplicity. I'm stuck with the original, you know, drum brakes on the back. You know, any type of pickup or utility, pretty light in the rear end. You don't, if you've got disc brakes up front, you know, it's usually enough. It's not a requirement that a vehicle this size have disc brakes all the way around. As long as it's got disc brakes on the front, it's fine. So anyway, yeah, that's my truck. That's my 36 Studebaker. In some later videos, I'll take you back through the whole process of when we first started on the chassis. I've got all that recorded, but this is just an overall of where we're at the moment. Cheers.